Welcome back for another deep dive. We're cracking open T. Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind today.
Ooh, interesting.
And we'll be focusing on a particularly intriguing idea.
Okay.
How the people we surround ourselves with
Yeah.
can actually impact our financial success.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept.
Yeah.
You know, this whole thing about our associations impacting our financial success, it's not just about networking, right?
Right.
It seems like there's something deeper there.
Yeah, definitely a deeper psychological element at play.
Yeah.
Eker argues that our financial blueprint is heavily influenced by
Right.
our roots,
Okay.
meaning like our upbringing and the beliefs we kind of inherit.
Right.
But he also highlights this thing called the power of association,
Okay.
which is the idea that we tend to mirror the financial habits and mindsets of our closest friends and mentors.
So like saying you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly. That's a great illustration.
Yeah.
He goes deeper, though, suggesting that
Okay.
rich people actively seek out successful individuals,
Mhm.
and they're not just looking for connections.
Right.
They're looking to learn and be inspired.
So it's almost like they're not just hanging out with millionaires
Right.
to, feel important.
Exactly.
They're actually trying to understand how these people think, what
Yeah.
strategies they use.
Yeah, they see others' success as motivation and a learning opportunity,
That makes a lot of sense.
almost like a blueprint for their own journey.
Yeah.
Conversely,
Okay.
people who struggle financially often exhibit what he calls a poor mindset.
Now, I'm guessing that's not just about having like a negative outlook on money.
No.
What exactly does he mean by a poor mindset?
It's a combination of beliefs and behaviors.
Okay.
Instead of seeing wealth as something attainable,
Mhm.
they might feel resentment or jealousy towards successful people. And this pulling down mentality actually prevents them from learning and growing.
I can see how like constantly criticizing
Yes.
or judging successful people would actually hold you back from achieving similar success yourself.
Absolutely.
It's like you're reinforcing the belief that wealth is something unattainable,
Exactly.
even undesirable.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this ties into another fascinating concept that Eker explores.
Okay.
Energy contagion.
Okay.
He argues that both positive and negative energy are contagious.
I could definitely relate to that.
Right.
I've noticed that like spending time with negative people can really drain my energy and motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Eker suggests that this negativity can directly hinder our financial growth.
Huh.
Think about it.
Okay.
If you're constantly surrounded by people who complain about money,
Mhm.
who believe wealth is evil,
Yeah.
or focus on scarcity,
Right.
it's hard to maintain a positive and abundant mindset.
It's almost like you're constantly being exposed
Yeah.
to a mental virus
Yeah.
that's just chipping away at your belief in your own ability to create wealth.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
He compares negative thinking to the measles of the mind.
Okay, that's a little unsettling.
He argues that it spreads through our interactions.
Right.
And influences our decisions, often without us even realizing it.
So is he saying we need to like avoid all negative people like the plague?
Not necessarily. It's more about being mindful of the energy
Okay.
you're allowing into your life and setting boundaries where necessary.
Okay.
He doesn't advocate for cutting ties with family or friends,
Right.
but he does emphasize the importance of surrounding yourself with people who support your goals and inspire you to grow.
So it's about being more intentional about our associations
Absolutely.
and recognizing that they have a real impact on our mindset
Yes.
and by extension, our financial well-being.
He even cites a statistic that most people earn within 20% of their closest friends' average income. That really highlights the powerful influence our social circles have on our financial realities.
So if you want to increase your income, one strategy could be to spend more time with people who are earning more than you are currently.
Potentially.
Yeah. But that raises an interesting question.
Okay.
What about those of us who might not have a lot of financially successful people in our immediate circle?
That's a great question.
How do we start shifting our associations?
That's a great question, and one that Eker addresses directly in his book.
Okay, good.
He offers a number of practical strategies for attracting more success into our lives,
Okay.
even if our current social circles are lacking in that department.
So we can actually change our financial blueprint,
Exactly.
even if we didn't come from a wealthy background
Yeah.
or don't currently have a lot of successful mentors
Right.
in our lives.
Exactly. And Eker's advice is both inspiring and actionable.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
He provides concrete steps we can take to start surrounding ourselves with positive, successful influences, regardless of our starting point.
This is starting to sound pretty promising.
Yeah.
I'm definitely curious to learn more about these strategies.
We'll dive into those in just a moment, but before we move on,
Okay.
are there any key takeaways from this first section that stand out to you?
Well, the idea that our associations have a tangible impact on our financial success is a real eye-opener.
Yeah.
It's not just about who you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's about who you choose to surround yourself with.
Right.
And how their energy and beliefs are influencing your own.
That's a powerful insight, and it's the foundation for understanding the practical strategies Eker outlines for attracting more success into our lives.
Okay, I'm ready to hear more.
All right.
I have a feeling this is where it gets really interesting.
Let's do it.
So how do we actually start, shifting our associations
Yeah.
and attracting more success into our lives?
So.
Eker mentions the importance of surrounding ourselves
Mm-hmm.
with successful influences, but
Yeah.
that's easier said than done right.
Right. It's not always about physically being around millionaires.
Right.
Eker dives into some really actionable steps
Okay.
that you can take right now, no matter your situation.
Okay.
One of the most compelling is modeling.
Modeling,
Yeah.
like striking a pose.
Not quite.
Mm.
Eker means observing and learning from those who have already achieved
Okay.
the level of success you desire.
Got it.
So instead of envying or dismissing wealthy individuals,
Mm-hmm.
study them.
Okay.
He encourages reading biographies of successful people
Oh.
like Warren Buffett,
Mm-hmm.
Oprah Winfrey,
Okay.
to learn how they think and operate.
So it's about understanding the mindset and habits
Exactly.
that contribute to their success.
Yeah.
But wouldn't just reading about them be kind of passive?
Right.
How do we actually apply those lessons?
That's where the action comes in.
Okay.
So let's take Warren Buffett, for example.
Okay.
Eker highlights Buffett's dedication to constant learning,
Okay.
particularly his commitment to reading 500 pages a day.
Wow.
Now, that's an extreme example,
Yeah.
but the principle is key. Commit to continuous self-improvement.
That's a great point. Instead of getting caught up in
Yeah.
the glitz and glamour of wealth,
Mm-hmm.
we should be focusing on the habits and principles that drive success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another practical step Eker recommends is to put yourself in environments
Okay.
where successful people gather.
Mm-hmm.
He even suggests that if you can't afford to join a high-end club,
Right.
spend time in the lobby of a fancy hotel.
I can see how that could be beneficial.
Yeah.
You're exposing yourself to a different energy.
Right.
A different way of being.
Precisely. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not,
Okay.
but rather getting comfortable in an environment that might feel intimidating at first.
It's like expanding your comfort zone and challenging those limiting beliefs
Yes.
that tell you, I don't belong here.
Right. And the more you expose yourself to these environments,
Yep.
the more natural they will feel.
Right.
You might even strike up a conversation with someone
Mm.
who could become a valuable mentor or connection.
That's a great point. But what about the negative influences in our lives?
Right.
Eker talks about the measles of the mind
Mhm.
and how negativity can hold us back.
Yeah.
How do we deal with that?
It's crucial to be mindful of the energy you allow into your life.
Okay.
Eker advises limiting exposure to what he calls trash TV
Okay.
and sensationalized news.
So it's not about ignoring the world's problems,
Right.
but rather being selective about the information we consume.
Right. It's about protecting your mental space
Okay.
and ensuring you're feeding your mind with positive, uplifting content.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, your thoughts and beliefs shape your reality.
Right.
So it's crucial to be mindful of what you're exposing yourself to.
That makes a lot of sense if we're constantly bombarded with negativity.
Yeah.
It's bound to impact our outlook and our decision-making.
Exactly. And this ties back to the idea of energy contagion.
Negativity can be just as contagious as positivity.
Right.
So it's important to be conscious of the people and environments we're surrounding ourselves with.
Eker even suggests disassociating from negative people, even if they're family members.
Yeah,
That's a tough one. Right?
it can be.
Yeah.
He's not advocating for cutting ties with loved ones,
Right.
but rather setting boundaries and being mindful of the energy they bring into your life.
He uses that powerful measles of the mind analogy again
Right.
to drive this point home.
It's such an apt analogy.
Yeah.
Just like you wouldn't intentionally expose yourself to a contagious illness.
Right.
You shouldn't intentionally expose yourself to negativity if you can help it.
It's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being,
Yeah,
which ultimately impacts your financial well-being.
absolutely. And remember, it's not about becoming a hermit.
Right.
and avoiding all contact with the outside world.
Right.
Eaker stresses the importance of building a supportive network
Okay.
of positive, success-oriented individuals. So it's about finding that balance
Yes.
between protecting your energy and expanding your circle of influence.
Exactly. It's about creating a positive and supportive ecosystem for yourself
Okay.
where you can learn, grow, and thrive financially.
I think that's a great point to end this segment on.
Yeah.
It's not just about cutting out negative influences.
Right.
It's about actively cultivating positive ones.
I agree. It's about taking ownership of your environment and making conscious choices about who and what you allow to influence your life.
This has been incredibly insightful.
Good.
Acre's ideas are really making me rethink my own associations
Yeah.
and how they might be impacting my journey toward financial well-being.
I'm glad to hear that it's a process of awareness and then taking action.
Awesome. Well, we'll be right back to wrap up this deep dive into Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We've been exploring some really profound ideas from T. Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, especially how the company we keep can really influence our financial success.
It's fascinating stuff.
It is, and it's not just about who we know.
Right.
It's also about, understanding
Yes.
and actively shifting our mindset to attract wealth.
Absolutely.
It's almost like we're upgrading our internal software,
Love that.
to be compatible with financial abundance.
Yeah, that's a fantastic analogy. And remember, Eker emphasizes that
Okay.
your income rarely exceeds your personal development.
So it's not enough to just mimic the actions of successful people.
Right.
We need to cultivate the beliefs and habits that underpin their success.
Precisely. And that's where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
It's not just about attending fancy galas or reading every biography on Warren Buffett.
Right.
It's about integrating those lessons into your daily life.
So how do we bridge that gap between knowledge and action?
Yeah.
Eker's all about those actionable steps.
He is. And one of the most impactful steps you can take today is to evaluate your inner circle.
Okay.
Ask yourself, are these the people who support my financial goals? Do they inspire me to grow? Right. Or do their beliefs and actions reinforce a poor mindset?
That's a tough question,
It is.
but an essential one.
Yes.
It's easy to get complacent in our relationships,
Right.
even if they're not really serving our highest good.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't about judging people
Right.
or cutting ties with everyone who isn't a millionaire.
Right.
It's about being mindful of the energy you're allowing into your life.
So it's more about recognizing patterns and making conscious choices about who we spend our time with.
Right. And if you find that your current circle is lacking
Okay.
in positive, success-oriented individuals,
Yeah.
Eker provides some fantastic strategies for expanding your network.
I'm all ears.
Well, we've talked about joining high-end clubs,
Right.
spending time in upscale environments, but it doesn't have to be that extravagant.
Okay.
Think about your interests and passions. Are there groups or organizations you could join where you're likely to encounter people who share your values and ambitions?
That's a great point. It's about finding your tribe,
Yes.
people who are on a similar wavelength.
Exactly. And remember, networking isn't just about handing out business cards. It's about building genuine connections and fostering mutually beneficial relationships.
And who knows, those connections could lead to mentorships, collaborations,
Absolutely.
even investment opportunities.
Of course. And speaking of mentorships,
But
Eker is a huge proponent of seeking out guidance
yeah,
from those who have already achieved what you desire.
he emphasizes the importance of modeling successful individuals.
Yeah, he does. And while reading biographies is a fantastic way to learn from afar, having a mentor in your life
Yeah.
can provide personalized support and guidance.
It's like having a personal trainer for your financial success.
Exactly. Now, finding a mentor can feel daunting,
Right.
but it doesn't have to be. Start by identifying people you admire, whether it's someone in your field or someone whose story resonates with you.
So reach out to them. What's the best way to approach someone
Yeah.
that you admire and ask for guidance?
Eker suggests offering value first.
Okay.
Think about what skills or knowledge you possess that could be helpful to your potential mentor. Offer your assistance on a project.
Okay.
Share a relevant article.
Right.
Or simply express your admiration for their work.
So it's about building a relationship,
Exactly.
not just asking for a handout.
Right. Mentorship is a two-way street.
Yeah.
And by Demonstrating your willingness to learn and contribute,
Hmm.
you're much more likely to attract someone who's willing to invest in your growth.
This has been such an enlightening conversation.
I, I'm glad.
Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind offers so much more
It does.
than just financial strategies.
Yeah.
It's like a blueprint for personal transformation
Mhm.
and creating a life of abundance.
Absolutely. And the beauty of it is that it all starts with taking responsibility for our mindset and our associations.
You know, we have the power to choose the people and the energy we allow into our lives.
That's right. It's incredibly empowering.
It is. As we wrap up our deep dive into Secrets of the Millionaire Mind,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a challenge.
Okay.
Take an honest look at your associations.
Hmm.
Ask yourself, are they supporting your journey towards financial well-being?
That's the question.
And if not, what steps can you take today to start shifting your environment and attracting the success you deserve?
You have the power to create the life of your dreams.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and those wallets growing.